So, I'm going to be covering the 5 secret tips to hacking your social media, specifically your Instagram today. This is going to be chock full of so much useful information. It's going to be fast, easy. Get your pen and pencil out, if people still use that. Take some notes, and literally, you can start implementing these tiny little changes today. So, I know how frustrating Instagram can be, right? And the algorithm's constantly changing and you never know what you're supposed to do. And you go online and you see all these people telling you all these different things to do. I'm literally doing this to you right now. But when you are hearing this from people who are actually super duper successful with social media and have a direct relationship and contact with Instagram and the social world, it's helpful. As you know, I just came back from not one but 2 different conferences. And of course, no business conference is complete without talking and venting about the ever-changing algorithm. Well, I am here to share 5 tips that you can literally start doing today to make a difference. First, I have to give credit to Vanessa Joy. She's a photographer. She's also an influencer. And I sat in on the most fascinating and fantastic talk. It was about an hour and a half, and I literally could have listened to her for another hour and a half, which is saying a lot because I pretty much have the attention span of a 3-year-old, especially when it comes to this type of thing. She cut straight to the chase and shared a ton of super helpful tips, which I'm going to start sharing with you right now. Again, this is going to be fast and easy, and I'm just going to fly through these tips, and we'll be done, and you can continue your day. 1, don't put links in your stories. Mind blown. This totally blew my mind because you're constantly told that in your stories, link, add link, add link, add link. Yes, of course, there's always going to be a time and place because every rule must be broken. But the thing is, and this is what made it so smart, you think, I want people to get to my website. I want people to advertise for this or that or buy this. Yes, it's true. But the more you put links in your stories, the more Instagram doesn't want you to leave its platform. Instagram wants you to stay. So when you put a link in your story and Instagram sees that, they're thinking, well, why do I want to push this story? They're trying to leave my platform. So the more you put links in your stories, the less Instagram's going to push you to be seen, right? Totally makes sense. Number 2, keywords. Use them. Yes, I know keywords have been important forever and ever when it comes to SEO and website, and that's something we always talk about, but in the past, you didn't really put together keywords in Instagram. You put together keywords and hashtags. Or not, you put Instagram and hashtags together. Well, not anymore. Use them all over your caption. Think of the main things you want to spread into the IG verse: weddings, photography, portraits, your location, your subject. Now, write a caption that naturally, you don't want to sound too SEO-ish, uses all of these words. Instead of saying some cute little quote, describe exactly what's going on in your picture. So instead of saying, oh, love is like a bird singing in the sky, and it's actually a wedding couple standing in a beach, say, as a wedding photographer, I love photographing brides and grooms standing on a beach at sunset. Sunset is a beautiful time to take wedding photos. So you're using these key words, right? That is so important. So go out there, use these keywords. In fact, keywords are now technically more important than hashtags. Now, as a disclaimer, as we know, the Instagram algorithm's always changing, but as of now, as of the things I learned a week and a half ago, so now let's talk about hashtags. It used to be that hashtags were use as many as you want. Then it was use less than 20. Then it was use 11. Now, don't use more than 3 to 5 hashtags. And again, these things go up and down, but focus on keywords less than hashtags. And when you're using your hashtags, use a variety. So use one big generic one, like wedding photographer, because you might strike gold. Maybe something in it's going to hit and you're going to reach a big audience on this. You never know. But then you also want to use ones that are a little bit more micro, a little bit more localized, a little bit more specific to you. For example, maybe Detroit photographer. So you're going to meet a smaller audience, but it's going to be an audience that's more niched towards your business. Okay, number 4. See, I'm flying through these. Collaborate. Go for it. So now there's this feature, you can collaborate. So use this feature, and now you can actually collaborate with up to 5 people. So go for it. Make sure, though, you are collaborating with people you actually know and have relationships with. So, for example, trying to collaborate with like the New York Times might not work because they don't really know who you are. I mean, maybe they do. But more likely, if you collaborate with your local florist, it's going to be mutually helpful and they know who you are. So 5 collaborators, use them while you got them. This one also was very interesting to me. Let your story expire. This was a new one. Oftentimes you have that never-ending story, right? Someone posts their stories at night before they go to bed, or they do it throughout the day, but a lot of people oftentimes will have a story running. This was something that said that if you let your story expire, so you have nothing up there, and then post a story, the algorithm is going to give you just a little bit of boost. So just a tiny little thing will just boop, okay? Those are my 5 tips. Super easy, really interesting, but I've got one more because I would be remiss if I didn't discuss consistency. We always hear about being consistent. Now, you might think you know what it means to be consistent, but this is a little different way of looking at it and it might surprise you. Consistency doesn't just mean consistently showing up. It means consistently showing up in the same way. For example, if you're going to post every day, right? Now, I'm not necessarily that's consistent, right? So let's say you want to post 3 days a week, but you want to make sure that if you post 3 days a week, you post 3 days a week, the next week, the next week, the next week. And you want to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then you're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday consistently. It's not about doing 3 days a week this week, 7 times a week the next week, once the next week. Yes, you're consistently posting, but you're not consistently posting consistently. So think about what works. Don't set yourself up for failure by making too lofty of a goal. If you think you can post 3 days a week and you want to make it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yes, you can also look at when your people are online and things like that as well. We're not going to go into all of that. But make sure whatever you set up, you can actually keep it going. Don't be overzealous. If you can't do 3 days a week, do 2 days a week, but do 2 days a week consistently every Tuesday, Thursday. This is something I found very interesting too, because oftentimes we set these big lofty goals. I can do it, but then you fail after a few weeks. So think about what's good for you. Keep that in mind, set your schedule, and stick to it. Okay? That's it. Quick, easy, 10 minutes, and not 5, but 6 super fun, useful social media tips that I think y'all can start implementing today.